Got a quick message from my friend. I wanted to share this to you. He just sent me a message today, and I wanted to play this for you guys.
I want to give a shout out to FFL USA. Andrew Taylor and the entire team continue to set sales and recruiting records. From leads to sales, they have life insurance figured out. If you're looking for a career to help your family and others, it's time to consider FFL USA.
So, my buddy Steve just wanted to shoot us a quick message. If you don't know, we work directly with Andrew Taylor on FFL USA. So basically FFL USA, FFL America, and our 8 senior sales manager agencies and more senior sales manager and VIP agencies on the rise. I can see September is already lining up to be a huge month. If not, October is a 5-week month, Alex. And we're excited about October to see a lot of people rank advancing. But it's pretty cool for us to be partnered with a company, a multi-billion-dollar insurance conglomerate like Integrity, which gives us access to new carriers, which gives us access to just all kinds of resources from marketing, the lead availability, software technology. And when Family First Life partnered up with that company, it just put us in a better position. And now we've just got more options. So we're backed by a multi-billion-dollar company, and the sky's the limit. And guys like Steve Young, it's pretty cool having him come on and just say hi for a second. So awesome. All right, everyone, welcome. Welcome to the call. We have Mr. Clay Sweet on right now. He's on track definitely to smash Hall of Fame. He's leading a team, senior sales manager of FFL Guardian. So if you are looking to learn how to sell more insurance, this is the call where you listen hard and this becomes your turning point. So don't think about anything else but the magical words are going to come out of Clay Sweet's mouth right now. And he's going to be super humble about it, but he's a badass. And that was a swear word, so don't tell my mom. Clay, how are we doing today, my man?
Yes. Doing fantastic. We're all here at the new office and excited. Really excited. So just pleasure to be on here and ready to teach some things.
Awesome, man. Well, happy to have you on here. Clay has been, he's been with us how many months now, or years and months?
About a year, a little bit over a year.
About a year.
Mm-hmm.
And Clay is a tremendous producer, and I'm going to back up and let him take away and start to teach you the magic words that he uses to help clients see the value in our products.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for having me on, Grady, and I'm super humbled to be on here and just ready to kind of share some knowledge that I've acquired over the last year or so. Just quickly back up, I was bartending a year ago. I didn't have any type of insurance background at all. Never written a policy before. Ran across FFL through a Craigslist ad. Somehow got a hold of Andrew Taylor. Andrew Taylor put me in touch with Grady. Super impressed with Grady, as we all are. Decided to take the leap and join. Started out working part-time, bartending. Now I'm full-time. I've been able to help my mother. I've been able to help my father. I've been able to help a lot of my family members, and this has just been a blessing. So I'm just super humbled. So that being said, let's kind of just jump right in. I've particularly focused on mortgage protection the last several months. So I'm going to kind of go through my in-home. Grady, I will need your participation a little bit. But Nina did a great job of how she gets to the table. I'm going to kind of start once we sit down at the table. First of all, I don't know if this will help, but I have a little badge. It's a Family First Life badge. It has my license number on it. People just like badges. You look a little bit of official. I have a folder that I walk in with my business card and my pen, and then I have what I need in the folder. So I'm sitting down. Grady, it's you at the table with me with Chantel. You're 35, she's 34, and then I'm going to kind of start from there. So I open my folder. I don't say much. There's a little bit of small talk. I used to talk a lot before. No need for that. I'm looking to just get to the table and then we start. There's no need for small talk that much. I mean, you want to build a little bit of rapport, but not a whole lot. I don't need to know about your cats and your car collection or anything like that. So what I do is I have my mortgage protection lead printed out and I slide it in front of the both of you and I ask, which one of you two filled out this form?
She did.
Okay, and then I will look at Chantel and I'll say, Chantel, could you kind of walk me through the reasoning for filling out this form? And then I just go silent because I want them to kind of ramble a little bit and kind of really get down to the bottom of why they filled out the form. So just kind of, let's just say Chantel said, you know, I wanted to make sure that my family was protected in case something happened. So I'll look right back at the both of you and say, well, that's why I'm here. We're going to take care of this today. So a little bit about me. I'm a local field underwriter for Maricopa County. My job is very, very simple. I see about 8 to 10 families a day. And my whole job is to go over some information with you after I've taken some information, go over some programs, and then we're going to submit an application for coverage. While I'm doing that, I've got some things in my folder. While I'm talking, I slide this. This is the credibility sheet along with my Arizona license. I'm sliding and I'm not really, they can see what it is. They see I'm licensed, it's understood. So they see that there's a bunch of carriers on there and I've got my license. So then I take out I call it the client suitability sheet, but we call it the financial inventory sheet. And I say, okay, so now what we're going to do is the next few minutes, I'm going to take a little bit of information, but to be fair, I think you should know a little bit more about me. I am local. I live in Chandler. Our office is in Mesa. I am licensed with the state. Let's go ahead and get started. So I used to, when I first started, I felt like I needed to talk a lot, and I literally get right to it. I'm real personable outside of this, but when I'm in this, I'm very, very to the point. So I'll just ask you some questions about the mortgage. I'm going to ask you some questions about prescription and medical history, and then a little bit more about financial. And then based on how you two answer those questions, I'm going to make a recommendation for coverage. And then once I make a recommendation for coverage, then we're going to submit an application for coverage. So I've said that a bunch of times and I'm not in my head. So I'm letting you know what's going to happen.
You're this, it's almost like you've got a script that you're going to use. You knock all this out. Let's set the table. I'm in charge. We're going to cover this. We're going to submit. You're going to give me some information. I'm going to tell you some information. Like you're covering, like, this is what's going to happen. I'm play. Here's this. Like you just take over.
I'm assumptive. So if they have the TV going on in the background, if they have the kids screaming, I mean, I'll be very polite, but I'll ask them to turn off the television. I'll ask them to shove the kids in the next room. And, you know, you just want their attention because at the end of the day, like this is all about control. I'm no longer, you know, Clay Sweet, just the normal human being. I'm Clay Sweet. I'm here to help you get coverage. So I'm Clay Sweet, the underwriter and the broker. So another thing, I don't talk about being a broker anymore. For me personally, I just feel like that sounds salesy. They can see who I represent. I don't need to say that. Now, what I do say, and we'll get to that point, and I'll go over that. So let's just kind of role play a little bit. And let's just assume that Chantel is super healthy. But I'm just going to ask you some questions so they can get a feel. So Grady, could you tell me what the total amount of your mortgage due is?
$270.
And did we just move in or did we recently refi?
We just moved in.
Okay. And this is a 30-year?
30-year, yep.
Okay. And did we put any money down when we moved in?
We put down 35.
Okay. Could you give me a quick estimate of what you think the value of the home is?
Probably like 310, 315.
Now, here's a little trick that I picked up in the beginning. People always overinflate the value of their home, but I'm going to use that to my advantage towards the end. So just kind of throw that in your memory bank, and I'll bring that up towards the end. They always do. If it's a $100,000 house, they'll tell me it's worth $300,000. So monthly payment.
$1,700.
Okay. So we got about $40,000 in equity in the home. Now, Grady, do you guys do the biweekly program, or do we try to pay off more than what's due every month to try to pay down the principal quicker? Or?
I want to. I haven't figured out how much we can do yet.
That's totally fine. In my experience, most people that just move in, y'all might have talked about it already, but that's totally fine. So I'll just put a question mark on that. So Grady, do you mind stating your name, please?
Grady Michael Polcyn.
And Grady, how old are you?
36.
Okay. And what is your occupation?
IT.
Okay. I was hoping you could say something and I could be like, oh yeah, but I'm not technical at least, so, but we'll skip that part. Monthly income.
About 5,500.
And that's net, or is that gross?
It's gross.
So what would you say you're bringing in?
About 46.
All right. Are you a smoker, Grady?
No.
And here's another thing. I haven't been real personable. I mean, I'm not real personal, but I use your names a lot. I try to use their names a lot. Just for some reason, it just works for me. I like to call them by their name. So I'll use Chantel and I'll use Grady a lot. Grady, are you currently taking any medications?
No.
No? Any major surgeries in the last 5 years?
None.
No? Family history. Talk to me about mom and dad. Are they still around?
Yeah, they're good. They're healthy.
Okay. So no major. Now he's 35, so I'm assuming that he's fairly healthy, but I do want to do my due diligence. So I'll just kind of quickly run through. So Grady, no major heart attack, stroke, any cancer, anything like that, any hepatitis, any major felonies, any DUIs? No?
None.
Okay. Do you have anything that would act like mortgage protection if something happens, such as like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, any type of significant savings, or any type of life insurance outside of work?
Not outside of work. I do have like a 43,000 in a 401k. Does that count?
Yes. You said 43,000? Okay.
Correct.
You said you do have work in life insurance?
Oh yeah, the whole family on it.
And do you understand how work life insurance operates?
I mean,
Do you understand that it's like a company car, that if you were to leave your job, whether voluntary or involuntary, you wouldn't take that with you?
I didn't know that. No. Is that real?
Yes, that is. So just so you're aware, you are not in control of that policy. So
Okay.
I don't know about you, but when it comes to my family's well-being, I don't want to put my family's well-being in the hands of my work. So just some friendly advice is just understand that you do not own that policy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And who would be your beneficiary if something were to happen to you, Grady?
My wife and then the kids.
Okay. Could you give me your kids' names?
All of them?
Please. All 30 of them.
Presley, Christian, Cameron, and Vivian.
I'm doing that for a reason. I used to not do that. And I want them to say their kids' names out loud so they know what they're doing this for. There's psychology to all of this. I want you to say out loud why you're protecting. Okay. Okay. And Grady, do you have a will?
I don't.
Okay. Just some friendly advice. You should get a will and will Chantel the home. It'll keep the house from going to probate. So basically it'll save her a legal battle from taking the home from the state. You can go to LegalZoom.com or you can go to a local notary and get a will made. I have nothing to do with that company, by the way, but just some friendly advice. Okay.
Thank you.
So I just gave some value there. I just gave value there. Okay. Or doyourwill.com. Thank you, Genevieve. All right. So let's say I went to Chantel and she was totally healthy too. Okay. So Grady and Chantel, there's a few different programs that you might qualify for, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through each program. All of these programs are state regulated, okay? So what I'd like to talk to you first about is a program that is traditional mortgage protection, okay? The way that this works is, Grady, if you come down with something chronic, critical, or terminal, chronic being like chronic back pain, critical being like cancer, stroke, heart attack. Let's say that COVID's way worse than we all thought. Terminal being like the doctor's giving you less than a year to live. You have access to the amount of the mortgage, tax-free. So the average person statistically is out of work due to something chronic or critical for 2 to 4 years. So Grady, you've already told me that you make about $4,600 a year and your mortgage is $270. So if you had access to your mortgage while you were out of work, you'd have 6 years worth of income, about 5 years worth of income to help you get back up on your feet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Now, if you pass away, Chantel gets the entire mortgage taken care of. So I think it's safe to assume that the biggest monthly payment you have to come up every month is the mortgage payment. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, so it would be a huge relief for Chantel for that mortgage to be taken care of. Is that correct?
Yeah, it would.
Okay. So also let me back up because I didn't address it. In this scenario, Chantel's a homemaker. And although we cannot put a value on a homemaker, there is no income coming in from her being a homemaker. So Grady is the only income earner, okay? So Grady, what I'm gonna talk to you about, so do you understand program number 1? So if something happens to you, chronic, critical, or terminal, you get access to the money. If you pass away, Chantel gets the mortgage taken care of, right?
Okay.
Okay. So the next program I'm going to talk about it's a very similar program, except for one major difference. If you come down with something chronic, critical, or terminal, you get access to the money, okay? So if you cannot work, if you can't perform 2 of the 6 daily functions of living, then you get your mortgage taken care of. If you can't do it for a course of 90 days. If you pass away, Chantel gets the mortgage taken care of, okay? If this is the biggest difference, if nothing happens at the end, you get every dime that you paid into the policy back, okay? So this is a win, win, win. Any way you cut it, Grady, somebody's getting a check.
Okay.
If you come down with something chronic, critical, or terminal, you get a check. If you pass away, Chantel gets a check. If nothing happens at the end is what we're hoping for, you get every dime that you paid into the policy back and you get a check, okay? That's called a traditional mortgage protection with CBO, cash back option. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you get it all back.
Yep, every dime.
Is that the policy or what I pay each month?
You get every dime that you paid into the policy back.
Okay.
So the next program is a straight mortgage protection term policy. If you pass away, the mortgage is taken care of, plain and simple. It's a very straightforward policy, okay? The first 2 programs have living benefits, chronic, critical, and terminal. The third one is just straight. If you pass away, then the mortgage is taken care of, okay? So let me just freeze right there for a second. For you people that have been in this for a while, you probably know what I'm talking about. The first program is going to be the Mutual of Omaha Term Life Express. The second program is going to be Americo HMS with CBO. And the third policy, something that I've recently added, is John Hancock Vitality, okay? So I've just given you 3 different options. And now after I've said that, I make sure I'm very slow and I'm very clear on what they are. I look at both of you and say, which one would you like to see quotes for? And Grady, which one would you like to see quotes for?
I want my money back if I can get it. The middle one looks good.
Okay. So then what I'll do is I'll break it down even more. So one mistake that I used to do is I would go for the whole mortgage. And sometimes that would bite me because it's a little pricey, let's just be honest. So what I started to do was I would break it down. I would do the full mortgage I do half of the mortgage and I do a quarter of the mortgage. So I write it down. I write full mortgage and the price, half mortgage and the price, quarter mortgage and the price. And then I just slide it in. I slide it to them and I just say, this will take care of the entire mortgage. This will take care of half of the mortgage, and this will take care of a quarter mortgage based on your budget. What would work for you? And then I just go quiet. And then let's say you want to cover the entire amount of the mortgage, which is typical. Sometimes they'll say, well, that's a little bit high, and then I'll move down. I'd rather cover at least half the mortgage than leave there without any protection. So then this is very important. And I had a conversation with Alexander and a bunch of his guys several months ago. Okay, Grady, so let's just say you said, okay, we want to go for the full mortgage. Okay. Now, Grady, this is the way that this is going to work. This is the way that insurance works, okay? We're going to fill out an application right now. I'm going to need your ID and a voided check, okay? They're going to check your prescription history. They're going to check your medical background. They're going to check your criminal history, okay? We're going to submit an application. We're going to set it all up right now. Once they've made a decision, they're going to approve it, and then they're going to make a withdrawal. That's what we're looking for. So, Grady, if you walk out the door right now, and God forbid you have a heart attack, Chantel knows that she's got the mortgage taken care of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No. So when are we're applying now?
We're going to apply right now. So what I need you to do is I need you to grab me a voided check. I do need to see your ID. And if you could grab me a glass of water. I've been talking for quite a bit and my voice is getting a little bit dry. So if you could go grab that and then come right back, then we'll get this started. So since we're in this vein, I need to think about it, right? I don't know if you're going to this, but the middle one looks good, Clay, but I need to think about it. We need to talk. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. So the insurance carrier needs to think about it too. So that's the good news. So we're going to submit an application for coverage, okay? They have to think about it. They have to look at your prescription background, your criminal history, and your medical history, okay? So while you and Chantel are talking about it, so is the carrier. So we don't know if you're going to get approved or not. So the best way to know that you can make a great decision for your family is to know without a shadow of a doubt you're going to get covered. Okay, so once they decide that they're going to cover you, you'll know immediately because they're going to make a withdrawal of that account. And then once they make a withdrawal, you get some time to talk it over and make sure that this works for you. Okay, this is all state regulated. So the carrier is obligated to give you some time to think about it. Okay, so go ahead and grab that check. Please go grab me a glass of water because my mouth's getting dry. And grab your ID, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm stone-faced. I don't smile. If they need to think about it, like
while you're gathering your next element, while you're gathering your next, the next section of this, when you were asking me those questions in the beginning, I literally had flashbacks to being like 13 in the principal's office, and I was like, "Whoa, your intention is so like massive certainty." I'm here for the purpose. I'm here for one reason. I need this information. Please state your full name. Like Clay, he's not trying to talk about BS in the backyard or commenting on the park down the street. He's there with direct intention. I'm here to protect your family, here to show these options. Tell me about your medical records. Give me the water. I'm waiting still. I'm really thirsty. So just to pause and applaud, that is what, if anyone's picked up notes so far, is to like on the phone, right? Seriousness, control, direction. Same echoes into the home. Serious, control, direction. Please carry on, but this is very, very good, Clay.
So the next part of mortgage protection you're going to run into is an older couple that might not qualify either through age or health for a big term, like a mortgage protection policy. So that's when you're going to go towards a equity close or a payment protection. I've really kind of looked at payment protection. Okay. So I used to dance around that a lot, but I get straight to the point. So let's say you're 70 years old, you're in fairly good health, but you're 70, getting some type of mortgage protection policies out of the question. So we're gonna talk about protection. Okay.
Mortgage protection is out of the question. Just to clarify, term products out of the question.
Yes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk to them about payment protection. So I'm very simple with it. So, let's say we've taken the information. Let's say you're taking metformin for diabetes, lisinopril for blood pressure, and atorvastatin for cholesterol. You're 70 years old. You've got about the older people that are older typically have more equity in their home. So you want to protect that. Okay. So I'll talk to them about payment protection. So we'll talk about the fact that let's say John and Mary, that Mary will be able to take over John's Social Security if something were to happen to him, because we've identified that his Social Security is much more than hers. We'll identify that she's able to take 50% of his pension. A lot of people in Arizona have pensions, so we'll identify that. But what we're doing right now is we're trying to give Mary what we call time to figure out what she's going to do with the home. Okay. So John, what I'm going to talk to you right now, it's called payment protection. So if something were to happen to you yesterday, Mary would have a year and a half to 2 years worth of payment protection to figure out what she's going to do, whether or not it's going to be to sell, have someone move in, rent it out, downsize, and treat this like the appreciating asset that it is. So what we're going to do is we want to give Mary plenty of time to figure out what she's going to do. And I think we both can agree that the decision, if she was forced to make a decision in month 1, it would probably be drastically different than the decision that she would make in month 14, based on if she had the finances to make the payments for the next 14 months. Does that make sense, John? And he'll agree. So, John, what most people do in your position is they put in place what's called payment protection. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some options and some quotes to let you figure out what would be best for your family. Now, one thing that I really try to do, and I kind of lost focus on it because it's just Grady, but I really focus on the person that's going to be in trouble. So let's say it's Mary. I'm not even, and this goes for younger and older, I'm not even paying attention to the dude anymore. I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at Mary the entire time, or Chantel the entire time, because at the end of the presentation, if I've sold the person that's going to be in trouble, they're going to do the selling for me by the time I'm done. Because I think everyone that's married has gotten this look before. She's going to look at him, or he's going to look at her and be like, listen, I'm going to be in real trouble if we don't do something here. So then what I'll say is, what most people do in your position is they put something that's sensible. Trying to put a term or mortgage protection whole policy in place is going to be astronomical. It's going to be more than your mortgage. So what most people do in your position is they put something in that's sensible that will give Mary a year and a half, 2 years worth of time to figure out what she's going to do. Okay. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some quotes, and then you can let me know which one works for you. And then the next step is we're going to submit an application. John, just to let you know, insurance is getting approved is based on age and health. So although I'm talking about these products, I'm not 100% sure that you're going to get approved. So what we need to do next is that once you pick the one that works for you, is we're going to submit an application. Because at the end of the day, I'm your advocate and I'm trying to get you coverage, and we've got to submit an application in order to see if we can get you covered. Because I'm quite certain that if you walked out of the house today and walked to the mailbox and had a heart attack, you want to make sure that Mary was covered. And by the way, the second that we submit an application, if that were to happen, Mary would be covered. So go ahead and grab me an ID, and give me a bottle of water, and give the checkbook out.
That's good. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, I mean, it feels smooth, right? Why is it so smooth? Because you've done it a lot. Why are people good on the phone? Because they've dialed a lot. So what would be, I mean, I don't want to what would be hangups? What do people hang up on? What do they go, I don't understand. So say like someone's like, I don't completely understand how this works, Clay. Tell me, can you, like, how would you say it a different way? Because sometimes people learn two different ways. How would you say this a different way? And we'll go back to, we'll just stay where we are on traditional mortgage protection, because you're essentially selling whole life in this situation, 70-year-old. So if he goes, can you tell me a little bit more about this? How would you explain a little bit more about what the whole life product is?
So I really focus on the payment protection, but they also need to know what's within the policy. Okay. There's a lot of benefits to this specific policy. So I talk about, John, you're getting older, and a lot of your friends, I would imagine, if you've ever talked about it, they have a policy that escalates as they get older. Okay. Great news. This policy stays the same. So whether you're 70 years old or 80 years old or 90 years old and poor health, the payment stays the same. Second, the benefit stays the same. So you never have to worry about some people's policies. If you can believe it, the payment will go up as the benefit goes down. This is not the case with this policy. The third is there's an accidental rider in this policy. Okay. So if something were to happen to you in an accident, John, then Mary would not only get 2 years worth of payment protection, she would get 4. Okay. So depending on the situation, I will throw a joke in there. So I'll just say, so if you start having, chest pains, hop in a car. That'll help Mary out. So I'll say, then I'll talk about, and then John, great news on this policy as well is it has cash value. Okay. It builds cash value. So you're going to pay the insurance carrier a little bit of money every month to protect Mary. They're going to take a little bit of that money every month and put it in a cash value savings account for you. It's going to start to accrue interest. It's not going to change your life by any stretch, but after a certain amount of time, that policy can start paying for itself. You don't even have to worry about it. It's your money to do with what you owe. And the last benefit is living benefit. So if you come down with something terminal, let's say we're talking about the Americo product, they'll give you up to 50% of the policy while you're alive to help out with medical expenses. So there's a lot more than just payment protection within this policy, John. Does that make sense? So all we're trying to do here right now, John, is we're trying to buy Mary some time. Because once again, statistically, no one should be making a financial decision within the first year or two of a tragedy. Wouldn't you agree? That they all agree. So wouldn't you rather put Mary in the position where she can make a really good decision based on where she's at? So let's just say, John, for instance, you didn't put this protection in place. You passed away. There's little equity in the home. Mary can't come up with the mortgage payments. She tries to sell the home. It's a buyer's market. Mary ends up selling the home at a loss, and she ends up in an apartment in downtown Phoenix. Is that what we're looking to do here? Because the reason why I'm here is to help you put some protection in so that Mary can make a great decision, so that Mary can sell at the right time. Let's say the market's down. You want to put Mary in the position to sell at the right time. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to give her a year and a half, 2 years worth of payment protection so that she can make a really good decision as to what she does with the home. Does that make sense?
It does. Time would be helpful. All right, we don't have a lot of savings. So why don't we do that? Clay, why don't I just save the money? That's a
mistake, John, and I'll tell you why. The mistake is that we're talking today as if you're not here any longer. John, I just killed you, metaphorically. You can't save if you die today. So if you start saving tomorrow and you put $100 in a savings account to help out Mary and you pass away tomorrow, guess what? You have $100. If you put some payment protection in place and you make an $80 payment, guess what? Mary's got 2 years worth of payment protection. I don't know about you, but that makes a heck of a lot more sense. Could we agree?
I felt that. That was good, man. Everyone hear that? Clap Clay up for throwing it down on this training today. That was very good. Clay, you I mean, even if, I mean, I want you to keep going. I mean, this is fantastic. Do you have a couple more things you want to touch on? We're doing different things, but I know you have an encyclopedia of sales skills that you could keep teaching. Any things you want to continue to share, final thoughts, etc., send people off on their day?
So just a couple of things. I don't consider myself anything special. I run a lot of appointments. I do want to touch on the weekends. You know, I've sold a lot specifically because I run on the weekends. I know a lot of you guys do, but if you're in that $3 to $5 grand a week range and you want to up it, work the weekends. I can't tell you how many times I've worked the weekends and just had monster weeks. So everything affects everything in this business. I'm not getting in the home if I'm not buying leads. I'm not getting in the home if I don't dial the leads. I'm not getting in the home if I don't get good at dialing the leads. And all that takes time. I can't stress this enough. You know, you guys are looking at, like, I wouldn't say the final product by any stretch, but you're looking at someone that's done this so much that I'm confident in my skills. But I'll tell you this, I was not confident at all day one. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was nervous. I didn't know what was going on. I was confident in my ability to succeed because of my work ethic, but I wasn't confident in my skill set. This is very much a learned skill set. No one walked into this just awesome on the phone, awesome in the home, awesome with phone script, all that. So I just would say that, like, if you really want to do well in this business, just work hard. And I mean work hard. Don't say you're working hard and you're working 2 days a week and taking off. I say work hard. You know, we all know who's working. It's very easy to point to know who's working. So that'd be my biggest thing, is if you just want to get better, continue to do it. You know, even keel. I mean, I've failed forward a lot. So that would be my biggest thing, is just.
How would you coach someone to work the weekends? What would be, hey, Clay, I want to start working the weekends. What do I do? What does that mean? Like,
it starts with the new Zoom dial session on Thursday mornings. You need to get good at dialing. You need to book up your Fridays and Saturdays. You know,
is it every Saturday, every Sunday? Like, some people are going, okay, I'm in. What do I do? Tell me exactly what to do, Clay.
So if you're considered full-time here at FFL, our dial days and office days are Mondays and Thursdays. We now have a great training in place, our live Zoom dial sessions, where you can learn from Hall of Fame producers right off the bat. I didn't have that when I started, so consider yourself lucky to have it. You know, start there. If you're nervous, just start and listen for the first little bit. But I tell you this, you're never going to learn how to play basketball by watching someone play basketball. You got to play the game. You got to get in there and start dialing. You got to take your licks. So I would say for the weekends, I would definitely say get on those Zoom dials. Well, first of all, let's back up. Make sure you buy leads. Buy leads, and buy leads on Monday for Thursday. You're buying Thursday for Monday. You're buying Monday for Thursday. So just get in the habit of buying.
Clay, but I got a wife and kids. How you want me to work all the weekends now? Coach me.
Okay. So
Challenge me.
Okay. So
I'm a struggling agent who wants change, and I'm making excuses. Clay, work the weekends? Really? Is it really going to change that much of it? Does that really make that big of a difference? How do I do it?
Okay, so we've just said but and really in the same sentence. So you're already showing me that you're not serious. So you just got done telling me that you want to change your life, and yet you can't make any sacrifices whatsoever. You have to make sacrifices. So working the weekends is sacrifice. We dial Monday, we dial Thursday. You dial Thursday for Friday, Saturday, you're going to run. And the fact of the matter is people are happier on Saturday. They're not coming home from work. They're enjoying their Saturday. I can't tell you how many monster Saturdays I've had. But if you're telling me you're going to be serious about this business, then you have to work on the weekends. Now, it's fine to take Sunday, enjoy it with your family. You got a wife and kids, enjoy that enjoy Sunday with your wife and kids. But Friday and Saturday is for running. And I tell you this, there's not a Hall of Fame producer in FFL that doesn't run on Friday and Saturday. And I don't know about you, but this is very much a monkey see, monkey do business. And if Grady Polcyn or Julius Gilger or Nina or Jen or Gage or any of the great producers we have here are running on the weekends, I highly recommend that you do what they do, because they're making a lot of money doing it. So that's kind of how I would coach. You know, once again, you know, if you're serious and you want to change your life, it's non-negotiable. I mean, nothing in this life is given, without sacrifice. And if you're having an issue running on the weekends, this business might not be for you, to be honest with you. So that's kind of what.
Thank you, Clay.
But anyways, let me say this real quick. I'm super humbled. I'm over the moon with being here. This has absolutely changed my world. I've been able to do a lot of things that I never thought I'd be able to do. I've built great friendships. This is the place to be. So I hope this training helped. Just keep on pushing. You'll get better. So all of us started just where you were. If you're new, if you're kind of in the middle, and you're making that jump from final expense to mortgage, it's good to have a good mix. Start with final expense, get your feet wet, move into mortgage, mix it up. It's definitely, this is a great business, and I'm super humbled. So I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much, Clay. Appreciate you coming on. You did a tremendous job, everyone. We'll have this recording up later. Please drop a TYC for thank you, Clay, in the comments below. And I got to go. Dude, your deliberateness is something that we all could learn from. If we could step up our boldness and our strength and our position, and like when in doubt, Clay didn't fill time with ums and ahs. He filled it with silence. Silence creates uncomfortability because people then have to think what's going on. He's processing. When in doubt, you don't know what to say, look down at your paper and just start writing notes, or say, hold on, let me check with my manager real quick. But how you say it is, hold on, I'm in control. Let me check with my manager real quick. You are constantly in control. That's what top producers, top dialers, top people do in this business. And you just saw Clay masterfully put it on with a fake client who now is like, needs to go buy more insurance for his wife right now. So, Clay, I thank you again. I thank you for leading.
Appreciate
I thank you for your time. Continue to applaud you as you continue to build this, your own business, on track for vice president here in the next month or two, leading a great team. So appreciate you all. Clay, send them off with a final thought. You close them out. We'll end it out here. Challenge everyone to go to do what they need to do. This is your close.
My close?
Take it down.
Get your ass back to work. Let's dial, everybody. Let's go.
That live dial session kicking back on in 21 minutes. Gage and Jen are running it, and thank them for running it. And here's the future. Let's close out the fourth quarter, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. See you next week. Bye for now. Thank you, Clay.